Hey guys, hey guys. I hope you can hear me, and also I hope that this live is coming in clearly. So I'm going to say this at the beginning for the replay people so they can hear it at the beginning of this live. At 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, this video will be it will be appearing on my channel. It's an update on the status of Blueface. Allegedly they're saying that he was assaulted, jumped in by some Crip gang members, and I don't think you guys want to miss this. So as y'all come in, make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit the like button. um I'm sorry I didn't go live yesterday. We have a after dark live stream that I was supposed to do at midnight. I ended up going to sleep. Anytime I don't do it, I'm not going to forget to do it. That means I went to sleep. And I'll still make sure that I'll, you know, do the live tomorrow if in case that happens. Hey, VB, let me give you some backstory before we begin. That'll give people time to get in here. So I've been trying to figure out what's going on with Blueface myself. You guys have been putting in my comment section for quite some time. Why isn't anybody reporting on Blueface? Now, some of the comments were saying allegations of he got stabbed. And I didn't pay attention because I only knew of one time. I looked it up on Google that he was injured. I shouldn't have said that word. Oh God. You can tell I'm tired. I almost didn't make it to this live. I had to drink some coffee. Oh, I can't believe I said that. Anyways, he got shanked. Let's just say that word. And only time I knew of that, an incident like that, was like a year ago or longer. However, they were basically probably getting bits and pieces of this up-to-date information of an assault on Blueface in the prison, and why we haven't heard him doing any jail calls, and why maybe Chrisean Rock, this is all tying in together. It's starting to make sense. Hey, VB. Thank you so much, sweetie. It says Blue got hit. I missed it. Yeah. So I'm you didn't miss anything. It just started. It just started, baby girl. So maybe that's why she was so happy to hear from him, Chrisean Rock. The last time we heard from a jail call that he had his cousin or whoever was calling for him, and he called her his wife. Yes, Hunty. Sis, I've been ignoring this for about 2 weeks. That's why I always say stay putting what you know about what's going on in the comment section of my video. I pick and choose my battles. I pick and choose my content. Now I have a ride or die subscriber. She gives me all the latest tea. Of course, I got to look into it first before I release the information. Now, I'm going to release this video that's going to premiere at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because at least if you guys showed up to this 11 a.m. live, you're going to see the whole video so you don't miss what this man said that happened, plus what Dre, which all adds up and it clicks together. Plus what Dre, his older brother, is asking the public to do because they haven't heard from him. So what I did is I sent him a link to the situation that's going on with Blueface. And then they could put the puzzle together. At least it's a starting point. I'm hoping to hear back from Blueface's brother. If he doesn't get in contact with me, I did my job, and I at least gave him the news of what's going on with Blueface. It might not be good news, but it's somewhere for them to start. So as y'all come in, make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit the like button. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And I will most likely put timestamps for this live. So when the live starts, people can just click on the highlighted pinned in the comment section of this video where the video starts. Okay, because I don't want to be rushing too quickly, which at the same time I'm not going to have you waiting either. But it all correlates to what's going on. And let me tell you something. This is what I have been catching up on your videos, boo. Thank you, Dion says whatever. Let me tell you something. People need to stop perpetrating the fraud. Stop trying to act like you're something that you're not. And this video I'm showing you now is not really going to premiere until 2 o'clock. You see it says video starts at 7:25, timestamp pinned in comment section of this video. So when the video goes up, I have already provided, you can go look over there now. It's going to premiere at 2 o'clock. But if you came into this live, you're going to be lucky to see the entire video, because a lot of times people don't watch the video until the whole video plays out. And you're going to hear this guy up at the front. You're going to hear me do my commentary, and then you're going to hear Dre talking. See, that's why I said y'all need to follow these videos till the entire video is done. And also leave comments under these videos. Because, yeah, I did for quite some time ignore what you guys were saying. But those comments are crucial for me to at least do my due diligence. And it also helps me pick out who is planting these seeds. Because if I go and look into these matters that you guys comment about, and it's a dead end, then I know you just on my comment section being a troublemaker. So let me, you know what I'm saying? So how do you pronounce your name? Inyabis. Happy Monday, Lulu. Okay, I'm just reading these comments. But this is crazy. And he did all of this just to get put back into PC. That's all I'm going to say from the beginning. He did all of this because remember they were doing paperwork. WAC 100 said he don't want to be in isolation, but they want to keep him there. That's why the jail probably would let him go, WAC 100, within 30 to 100 days max, because the jails are overcrowded and he's a liability because he's a celebrity and people might try to do something to him. Well, something did happen to him. But he brought this upon himself. He wasn't PC, but they got wind of what I'm about to share with you and brought it to him. Sorry, talk to text anyway. Blueface was pretending to. I know that, Carol. Ooh, how was he? How is he gonna explain this when he gets out? I know he's gonna make up a lie. He's good at lying. I wonder what he's gonna say happened. Is he just gonna just flat out and just tell the truth that he was pretending to be a fake gangster, because this is what was exposed. Now we know he's never was a Crip. He lied about being a Crip. Boy, you know you crazy, boy. And even when Carlissa got beat up by Chrisean and his sister, and I guess his so-called, now we know that he's not in Crip, he's not in the Crips, but the so-called gang beat the sister up after she just had the baby, right? And then Chrisean jumped in and finished her off. Those are just his hoodlum friends that he allowed to do that to his mother. Or maybe Crips that associate themselves with Blueface because he's Blueface, right? But they're not riding with him like that. You know what I'm saying? Like his father's identifying him as one of them. He wasn't even jumped in on the street. So how would they even disrespect the gang and even say something like that? Like the video. Make sure y'all like the video. Yeah. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. Thanks, sis. You can say Nisha, though. Okay, Nisha. Okay. I hope I can remember that. It says, can anyone tell? That's what I'm saying. This is towards the end of the video. So you don't miss, you don't want to miss this video. Even when it goes live today, premiere, you don't want to miss it. Can anyone tell me why she's walking around here? Child's grandpa half naked. I know it. That's crazy. I know it. Yep. So people just don't know how to act and keep. Yep. Okay. So we got about 100 people in here. Hopefully, y'all, supported the channel and hit the like button. And again, this is probably the only way that any YouTuber can get somebody to get the full information and look at the full video is when these things are live. Okay. So that's why we're here. And we're also here because this also explains why Carlissa may be planting these seeds, making up false allegations that might not even be true about things that she's posting on her IG. She's according to Dre, her son, she's going through changes. She is stressed out over Blueface, and he's really concerned. Now I didn't put that part in, but I did hear it. I can post it on my community wall so you can hear it. I have no reason to lie, but the mother is going through it, and he's real concerned for her, like she's having a nervous breakdown or something. Is how he didn't say that breakdown. She's having a nervous breakdown, but she's just losing it. And so, yeah, man. So it's starting to tie into why she's putting all this. What are you saying on IG and stirring up mass confusion? If I didn't this coffee, y'all, it said that's crazy. She can get hurt. I know it. She always dressed like that. Nothing's new. It says blue. All right, here we go. Here we go. Right now, I'm gonna play it. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Another one. Hey guys, back with another one. I was supposed to do my after dark live, and I got tired and I passed out. We will be doing it today at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, we'll be doing a live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. So I just want to say thank you to pull on updates on Rock, Jaidyn Alexis, Bon Lachey, all of the circuit.
So funny story. I'm kicking it. Just finished posting for the day. I wasn't gonna make any more videos, and JD hits me with a text and says, "Hey, what do you know about this dude Blueface?" I'd never heard of him. So
before I
like,
finish,
what are you
this guy has a TikTok channel. I will put all the links to everyone that has been I'm showing credit to for this video. Listen, this guy here was serving time in prison, obviously in California, but he has a friend that's still in prison. Okay, this is how he got the information. His whole entire channel is about prison life. He's been, I think, since 2022, because I looked at the day he got out. He went on a TikTok and he talked about the day he got out, and he doesn't even sound the same way or even look the same way that he looks. He had that hardened criminal look, that hardened criminal voice. He's changed his life. He did a 360, and his whole channel, it's an honest living, is talking about prison life. So this is who this guy is. So it ain't like this random TikTok weirdo or something like that. No, it's not.
talking about? He's like, well, something about LA County Jail. I said, boy's supposed to call 9. He's 7 months down there. I'll ask him. So down there, dude, Blueface. Well, I guess this dude is running Crip, and so he everybody.
Okay, I'm gonna stop
general
this population because I had some problems.
inside.
Let me remove it and put it back in. I'm gonna start it over because my internet connection's acting up. So don't worry, we're gonna get to it. I'm about to put it right back up. We just started from the beginning, anyways. If you don't see it here, you'll see it at 2 p.m. live, anyways. To do my after dark live, and I got tired and I passed out. We will be doing it today at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, we'll be doing a live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. So I just want to say thank you to all my supporters who send me this information on a daily basis on updates on all of what's going on with Blueface, Chrisean Rock, Jaidyn Alexis, Bonnie Lachey, all of the circuit.
So funny story. I'm kicking it, just finished posting for the day. I wasn't gonna on videos, and JD hits me with a text and says, "Hey, what do you know about this dude Blueface?" I'd never heard of him. So I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, something about LA County Jail." I said, "One boy's supposed to call me tonight. He's doing 7 months down there. I'll ask him." So 7 months down there. I'll ask him. So I'm not gonna say his name. So my boy calls me. He's in the trustee floor. He was working in the kitchen and now he's in maintenance. But if you know anything about jail, the trustees are where all the rumors come through. So I said, "Hey, what do you know about this dude Blueface?" Well, I guess this dude is running Crip. And so he's in GP with everybody. And
General population.
Crips run a type program inside. They're gonna check you out. And I guess this dude never been jumped in or whatever. And so he was like Biden off of his brother's name or something. Whatever. He ends up getting it up and sent on, and then now they got him in the shoe. He can't be on the floor no more. So, moral of the story: don't claim to be a gang member if you're not in a gang.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I did see a few times people questioning how come no one's talking about what happened to Blueface in jail. Now, disclaimer, I want to say allegedly only because I don't need any backlash of people saying this is not true and planting seeds that don't exist. However, I think that you will think otherwise when you hear from his brother Dre. I just want to say one thing. Tuned up. I had to look it up myself because I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. We use different words. I kind of knew that that's what it meant. It means beat up. And so I'm just letting you know that's another word for beat up. So he lied that he was a Crip. I just want to let you know that. Let's make it clear before we go any further. You will hear his brother talking in this video. So people that have ADHD, I feel bad for y'all. It's just an inside joke. Um, but if you don't stay tuned and listen to this entire video, you're gonna miss it. All you're gonna hear is what this man said about what happened to Blueface, but we're gonna tie it all in together so nobody's saying, well, you know, well, how do you and I don't want to hear nothing. Listen to the whole video and then you'll see why Dre is so concerned about his brother and all of that. So just listen up. I also sent Dre this video that I'm going to let you guys listen to because they have not heard the family, Carlissa, Dre. Lulu. They have not heard from Blueface in a while and they're concerned about him. Remember, California jail is. Well, if Carlissa said he wasn't in the gang, then she told the truth because he's not. And that's what got him beat up in jail. And that's sad that he did all of that clout chasing like they say we do off of them. He clout chasing off a gang. Who wants to be a part of a gang these days? Or even back in the day? Nothing good comes out of being in one. It's populated. It's a lot of people in there. So it's not that easy just to pick up the phone and call and check on an inmate like you would some states that are not as large as California. However, this guy here, he has a whole TikTok page. It's called First Day Out. It says First Day Out 916. Please go follow his channel. Big turnaround for this guy here. I saw like a video from 2022 or something like that. Sounds and looks different. When he had that video from a few years ago, that was his first day out of jail. And he looked like a hardened criminal from probably being in jail. And his voice sounded, hardened. The look sounded hardened. If you listen to him now, in my opinion, he probably that part rehabilitated himself and he's doing something positive, but he's also, making a lucrative career out of social media and making money off of TikTok doing something to keep himself just remind. So he in this video explains his friend when he called this guy here first day out of jail. No, I agree with you. I think a lot of times it's not about clout chasing. She might try to say, well, people, she says it out of her own mouth, well, my son gave me permission to clout chase. But no, she's like a typical mother. Tell the truth and shame the devil. She gets up there and she be telling what they be trying to keep behind the doors, keep behind closed doors. Carlissa be telling it all. That's why when I first started reporting on her, people were like, oh, why you keep reporting on Carlissa, man? Like y'all didn't want to hear about me putting this on my channel. And I kept putting her on my channel. And now all of a sudden you can't get up in the morning and go to YouTube. She's plastered everywhere. You know why? Because people are starting to realize if you want to get the latest tea and you want to hear it, what they're trying to not tell you, Chrisean Rock or Blueface or Jaidyn Alexis, don't let her get mad. And even if she's not mad, she tells it all. Called him, I guess, collect from prison, his friend did. And he asked this guy, do you know a guy named Blueface? Because like he's in this prison. And he said no. And they got into a discussion about it. And allegedly they're saying that Blueface was repping that he was a Crip. That's one thing I know that's going to blow your mind. They're saying pretty much he isn't a Crip. And I jumped in the prison and put him in what they call keep separate, which is PC. Same thing. And this is why he is not able to call his family on the outskirts. And this is probably why Chrisean Rock was kind of surprised to hear from him because calls are limited to non-existent. Now, this guy here says that he was put in keepsake, same thing, PC, because he's a liability, like I had said in other videos. But his phone privileges would play as well. So this is why we don't try to perpetrate. But see, he put himself in there because they were doing paperwork. His lawyer, I remember WAC 100 was saying it. He said he don't want to be in PC. So he must have been, when he first went there, he was in isolation. And then he got out of, how do you get out of isolation? And then you go around in general population and you know you're not a Crip. But you've said it to yourself so many times, wearing the color and all that, whatever. The gang stuff or whatever. And then you go into the jail with this fake personality that does not exist around real Crips, and they never even heard of you. And think about it, he's Blueface, the rapper, remember? So even if they're not fond of his music, or they are fond of his music, he's from California. All those Crips still know him or of him. They probably don't know him personally, but why would you go in there? You can fool us, but you can't fool everybody, Blueface. You fooled these people to the point you went in jail trying to fool the real Crips and got beat up. Where do they do that at? I hope Blueface learned from this too. Something that we're not. I have people in my real life, Disclaimer, and allegedly. If you've been following me on the Nature Boy content, I shared someone who was very near and dear to me, who was a real gang member. When he went to these prisons, for 2 pumes, which the third is a federal. Okay. In my real life, know these kind of people, and one near and dear to me, and a lot of people will probably know who I'm talking about, was a gang member, and he was shot in the chest. I'm just gonna say that. But God was looking after him. He's still here, and actually never even had to get his chest cut open because the bullets are still inside of him, but it's not touching any main organs to have the doctor feel is necessary to operate. So thank the Lord for that. God is good. But I really wish that Blueface could get out and I could have him talk to someone this personal to me and tell him that it's not the look. He's much older than him because he's heading down the wrong path. And, I know he's not going to be able to, he has to feel as though he's be forced to have to tell a side of the story when he gets out about the situation that happened with him. David, you're trying to be funny because this video is about how we just found out that he's not a Crip and he caught a bad one trying to rep that in jail, which is the wrong place. Rep it when you can't get dangerous criminals at you. And that's when you're free. Don't be in no jail where you can't run nowhere saying you a Crip and these people know you're not a Crip. Being locked up in jail and us finding out on the outside that in the inside what happened to him trying to rep that he was a Crip. So allegedly they're saying that Chrisean, Blueface is not a Crip. He's not a gang member. And this guy is basically telling the harsh reality of what happens to people who try to portray themselves to be something that they're not. So listen up, guys.
So funny story. I'm kicking it. Just finished posting for the day. I wasn't gonna make any more videos. And JD hits me with a text and says, "Hey, what do you know about this dude Blueface?" I'd never heard of him. So I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, something about LA County Jail. My homeboy's supposed to call me doing it once down there. I'll ask him." So I'm not gonna say his name. So my boy calls me. He's in the trustee floor. He was working in the kitchen and now he's in maintenance. But if you know anything about jail, the trustees are where all the rumors come through. So I said, "Hey, what do you know about this dude Blueface?" Well, I guess this dude is running Crip. And so he's in GP with everybody. And
general population.
Crips run a type program inside. They're gonna check you out. And I guess this dude never been jumped in or whatever. And so he was like biding off of his brother's name or something. Whatever. He ends up getting tuned up and on. And then now they got him in the shoe. He can't be on the floor no more. So moral of the story, don't claim to be a gang member if you're not in a gang. Not a good.
So yeah, that's the moral of the story. Now I want to also let you listen to Dre because it all ties in. It all makes sense. They haven't heard from, Blueface, but we now listen up, and I'm gonna pause it at this one part that I think that, and Dre doesn't even have no idea. That's why I sent his brother the link today. I sent him today the link. Hopefully I'll hear back from him. If I don't, at least I sent them the information so that he can tell his mother what's going on. Dre can, the older brother. But I'm gonna also pause it again when it gets to this one specific part because I think that he don't know he got smoked in the street with people. Well, I'm not gonna say that. And I'll tell you when I'll pause it when I get to that part. Let me just let y'all listen to it. We know we're gonna still stick with the allegedly into further notice. And I also again I sent Dre the link to give him an idea what's going on, and maybe his mother can check into it further. Allegedly. And they should be able. She calls a friend. I'm quite sure Carlissa knows. I mean, with her little, into everybody's business, this is something the jail should be able to tell them. I don't know, but I sent D to Dre, gave him the link so he can pretty much figure out what happened from there, or separate allegations from the facts. And hopefully he gets back to me. If he doesn't, at least I did my part so he's not worrying, because the last couple of days he's been posted on IG and the bloggers have been reposting what he's talking about, which is the concern of his brother, Blueface. Blueface, you need to get out and get with God like your brother said, Dre. Video. So we're going to listen to what Dre had to say as well.
You know what I'm saying? At this point, bro, I would start praying and turn to God, bro. Like, if you don't come out of there and turn to God, I can't do nothing with you, bro. Like, I can't. If you don't come out of there strictly on some real religious stuff, because you got your peoples, everybody that you done pissed off, they trying to, because you done pissed them off and they think I'm a, you know what I'm saying, bro? And I can't be myself in harm's way, because you know what you be on, you feel me? As far as like how our relationship is, I love you. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta really like, you gotta come out of there on some real religious, like real with God type stuff, because you to a point, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't deal with you unless you on some strong religious stuff. So if you come in about some God stuff, I got you. But if you don't know God,
Listen to this part one more time. This little part right here.
you don't come out of there strictly on some real religious stuff, because you got your peoples, everybody that you done pissed off, they trying to, because you done pissed them off and they think I'm a, you know what I'm saying, bro? And I can't be putting myself in harm.
You peeped him when he said, and you got them thinking. Listen, I want you to listen to it. I want you to hear from his mouth. Hold on. One more time. About, which is the concern of his brother. I pushed it back. Here we go. Blueface, you need to get out and get with God, like your brother said, Dre. So we're gonna listen to what Dre had to say as well. I'll pause it.
At this point, bro, I would start praying and turn to God, bro. Like if you don't come out of there and turn to God, I can't do nothing with you, bro. Like I can't. If you don't come out of there strictly on some real religious stuff, because you got your peoples, everybody that you done pissed off, they trying to, because you done pissed them off and they think I'm a, you know what I'm saying, bro?
He said because they think I'm a. I don't know if this was edited, but I'm wondering if people in the street think because he was in there saying, because the guy said he was trying to rep off his brother's name. He's like, I don't know. The dude, the guy that did this video was basically brushing it off, because the moral of the story is he shouldn't be in there repping that he's a Crip, and he shouldn't be trying to rep off his brother's name either, because, even if his brother was one, because remember, Dre did like 10, 13 jail. So it probably had to be gang affiliated. You know what I'm saying? And because Carlissa told that. So y'all take key. Now listen up.
Bro, and I can't be putting myself in harm's way, because you know what you be on, you feel me? As far as like how our relationship is, I love you, and you know what I'm saying? But you gotta really like, you gotta come out with some real religious, like real with God type stuff, because you to a point, like, you know what I'm saying? I can't deal with you unless you on some strong religious stuff. So if you come in about some God stuff, I got you. But if you ain't on no God, like this, let this be a wake up call to you. If you don't wake up call, bro, then you just slow, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to piss everybody off. Your baby mamas hate you, Whack hate you, mommy hate you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you done made enemies with everybody, bro. Like you gotta start treating people better, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even you gotta do better. You know what I'm saying? Because you done pissed too many people off, my dude. You know. So this message is for my brother, whom I love a lot.
Brothers, like, is done with them, with, all this, what he's doing and how he's treating people and how people are being affected by it. You got to sometime, and I always say this, you got to tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Now, I have something else I want you to listen to as well. But this is serious. This is behind the scenes, what families go through when they have a troubled person in their family like Blueface that is reckless.
I need everybody to do hashtag where's Blueface, because his family is concerned. We have not heard from him, bro. So I don't know what's going on. I need somebody to help tell me what's going on with my brother, because we just haven't heard from him, just to let us know what's going on. So anybody can let us know. Maybe we put a hashtag together. I'm letting you know from the family. We haven't heard from him. So we just need to figure out where's Blueface. I need.
So one thing I can say for sure, that if something horrible happened, he was unalived or anything like that, which I don't think is the case, he's definitely in PC because of probably injuries and also a fight. And it was multiple people if he got jumped in, allegedly. So he's okay in that aspect. But like I said again, I did give his brother the link that was provided to me, and hopefully that will bring some clarity to the family. Not some news they want to hear, but something they can check into. So I will be going live today at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I probably will share that early with the public on my live. And if you miss it, it will be premiering before my 7 p.m. live tonight. Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to tell you is he needs to tread lightly, man. He's sitting up here. See something, and I said this. Put a Y in the chat if y'all heard me say it before. Sometimes people lie so much they start to believe their own lies. You can stop believing your own lies if you keep telling, and that's why it's important. Even though we do the negative, believing our own lies, like we character assassinate our own self and tear our own selves down with the things that we say to ourselves. But you know how people say, if you keep saying I'm gonna make it, that I'm beautiful, that I'm successful, all those positive affirmations to yourself, if you say it enough, you'll start to believe it. People usually, it's only a percentage of people that really believe those positive affirmations. The world is so negative, it gets drowned it out. But if you're living a lie that you want to be believable, which is usually something that's toxic, like him saying he's a Crip and he's not, and then you pay the ultimate price of repping something, and you probably made yourself believe it. You could probably even pass a lie detector test, and then you get caught a bad one in jail behind it because you're disrespecting the Crips because you're saying that you're a Crip. Anybody can say that. Matter of fact, I'm a Crip now. SL Davis is saying she's a Crip now. Anybody could be a Crip. That's how they look at it. You're playing on their time. You're playing on their name, and it's like clowning them. It's like clowning somebody. I'm thinking about sending it to Carlissa, but I don't need to have her on my radar. Even though I support her, like I said, I have a subscription to her reality show, so I have nothing against Carlissa at all. I look at her show on Sundays, so But I just I make videos and I say my opinion on Blueface. He needs to step up to the plate and be a man. She might not like that. That's his mother, and I have a son too. He's much older than Blueface. And I really wish that I could get my son to talk to Blueface if Blueface was willing to do that. Because my son was a real gang member, and he paid the ultimate price. My son get one more gun charge, which would be pum pums. I shouldn't even say that word. Pum pums. He's going to the feds. Feds, and you do the straight time when you go to the feds. That's like what 25 years he'll do. So that's to me like a life sentence. And you know what I'm saying? When you're in your 30s. Well, not yeah, it is. To me, it would be. He's not. Yeah, he's. I don't know. And to tell you the truth, he might come out worse. Yep. If not, learn lesson. He will feel fights for his. Yep, you're right about that. Carlisha should be the one telling Blue that, and part of the thing attached to it. Yeah, he went to the wrong place doing that and caught a bad one. That's a bad hit right there. Bonnie believes her own lies, right? And ex-con said he has connections to inside, and Blue got jumped. Crip, not a real Crip, was never jumped in. Again, somebody had asked this guy that was in jail that's talking right now that you see on this screen. He's not in jail anymore. He's been out for a few years. Somebody inquired about, did he know Blueface? He's not in jail to know Blueface, but he has a friend who has to serve 7 months that calls him collect. So this bald-headed guy you see in this video, he asks the guy that calls him collect, which is his friend that's serving the 7 months, do you know Blueface? And the dude didn't know him either, but he asked around. You can find out more information in jail than you can on the street. And then the dude came back to his friend right here that's in this video and said, yeah, he was repping himself as a Crip and he got seen. And they had to put him in PC. But what I'm saying is you went in there acting foolish, thinking that you're going to get away with doing that. And you did all of this. People had to do all this legal paperwork to get you so you wouldn't have to be in a cell by yourself in isolation. And as soon as the legal paperwork goes through, this is what you do. You put yourself in jeopardy. You put your own self in jeopardy. And it's not even off the base, off your name and your fame. You did it because of your allegations of going around saying that you're a Crip, playing in real Crips' faces. You're a safety to your own self. And I don't think he understands that. He's going to feel so invincible. He's going to feel invincible after he gets out. And he probably feels invincible now because he's protected while he's still in there until he gets out, which is scheduled release date again is July 2nd, 2024. For people that keep asking me, is he out, or stuff like, oh, he's waiting for Nevada to have him over to them. No, there's no special privileges for Nevada. When he finishes the sentence that he has in California, that's when he'll behave, or he'll leave on his own recognizance, and they'll tell him by law, you must go and clear up your legal obligations in Nevada. That's all that's the only two things that are going to happen. So we're not going to sit here and, say, I'm talking in general. I'm not talking to anybody in the chat or looking at this video. But yeah, there's a lot of people talking about he's waiting for the people to come in 30 days. Yeah, they got 30 days after the release time. Now we know the release time says July 2nd, 2024. WAC 100 said he can probably be released within 30 to 100 days because the jail's overcrowded. But if they don't release him early, he may even have made it to the point where they won't need to release him early because he's in PC. So let him do his time that he owes us. He's not a liability anymore because they got him in PC, protective custody. So he can't get himself in any more trouble because he got himself in trouble. He'll probably get out and say they were hating on him and try to see him because of who he is. But come on, stop. You made that smoke for yourself, bro. Just Blaze thinking that it's cool, right? Exactly. Thinking it's cool. Ain't nothing cool about that. He is a crypto. It's been merged plenty of time. Well, okay, he's one then. Well, you know what? His own people don't like him then. And if he's so much of a crip, then why did they put him in PC? Why did they put him in PC? So come on now. Why is his own people fighting him in jail? I think you should at least she'll know what's up with her son. Oh, you talking about send the link? Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll send it. I'm gonna say something like Carlissa. I've never had no words with her or no back and forth on social media, texting, typing that thug texting. I never. I don't do that with people. But I don't want Carlissa trolling me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying that. So that's why. Hello, what is it? How do you pronounce your name? Break it down to me, sweetie. Aquarie. Y'all with these beautiful names, but I can't pronounce them. But what if the people are just hating on him? I think he really is a crip. Okay. Well, why you keep saying that, but would you want your son or daughter to be a crip? And to me, that's good news if he's not really a crip and he just reps it. This rap is that rep Merc songs, and everyone knows what Merc means, right? Unaliving songs, like they lived that life, and they ain't never had a body in their life. So you know what I'm saying, them gangster songs. So please, it's like, please don't try to push the narrative of that's what he is. To me, that was good news. I took it personal because I had a son in the gang. And you know how when the phone rings at a certain time of night and the first thing come to your mind, you're like, why are you having a panic attack because the phone rang at 2 a.m? Because I was hoping that it was never my son. Them calling me saying, like it has one time I got that phone call that I always dreaded to have. I didn't want to get that phone call again, but this time I might get that call and not be this lucky to ever be able to see him again. But I'm able to see him again. So to me, that's a form of trolling when you keep saying, but he is a crip. What credentials or how are you gonna make it in life going forward being a gang member? Wayne was a blood locked up in crime in '09. He was in protective custody but walked the yard, but he had Drake and Nikki holding the line down like Park. Q walked the yard as well. You tell by the dude he hangs around that right. Come on now, exactly. Come on. I ain't see none of them that even none of them ninjas that he hang around. They look like they gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight. Straight like that. Very crazy. That was hating. Why else would jump him? He okay. You have a nice day. I asked you a question, and the question was again, Leela Swan, would you want your child to be labeled as a gang member? Some parents are sick these days, so to them that's like an honor to say my son's a gang member. He knows how to throw out the gang signs and do the gang and the crip walk. You're sick, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you obviously got low self-esteem yourself because nobody wants to have a child that you try to raise the best of your ability, and you are openly proud of him being a crip. I'm not. I'm sharing stuff about my life because we can't give advice or talk about these things if we're not living in our own reality. Because I have to remind you guys time to time that I'm human too, and I'm not above life's classrooms. I have flaws. I have criminals in my family. I have made mistakes, and I have had people close to me make mistakes even worse than Bluefaces. And I'm just saying that history repeats itself. But we don't need to keep the cycle going. So I don't need nobody in here talking about some. Well, he is a crypto. Okay, he's a crip. Great. He got a crypt degree. Good. I'm so glad. Hey, Diane, just making mom some breakfast listening. Thank you, Diane, for all your support, sweetie. Let me read this girl's comment. I feel like someone faking. Yeah, so anyways, it says, so like I was saying, I apologize to everyone who I saw the comments of people just asking straight up, y'all talk about all this as the world turns and days of our life. What about the real stuff that's going on with him right now that nobody's talking about? And I guess, and I didn't hear nothing about it. But when it came to my lap, I had to dig in, do my due diligence, and now I see why Dre is so concerned and hasn't heard from his brother. And also was saying, not trying to say too much. You ain't gonna get me caught up, man. So I don't know where you was at, Swan, but a lot of people knew about this. I didn't know about this. You obviously didn't know about this until today. But people think when something is breaking news or comes out for the first time, that once it gets leaked or presented by commentary channels, that everybody and their mama know. No, some people take breaks from this stuff, or they look at other content. They don't want to look at this all the time. They switch it up. Or sometimes people walk away from this kind of content and don't look at it no more. It's all kind of reasons why people don't hear the information at the same time. There's some people that don't even know that Nature Boy was sentenced to life with no parole, plus an extra 10 years on top of the life sentence. And I'm shocked myself. I'm like, well, I know. Yeah, just because you know SL Davis, that don't mean everybody else knows. Okay, so yeah, what happened to Jaidyn Alexis? This ties in. Thank you so much for reminding me because I'm so into this here because I can't even believe it. This ties into what else I was going to say. Now, there was a part I was saying, I don't know if you were in here, but Dre was talking about how his mother's basically is almost like she's having a nervous breakdown, it seems like. She's going through changes. Blueface's situation is stressing her out. He said, I didn't even know. Basically, he was saying he didn't even know how to deal with it. and he don't know what to do, man. She's just like she's going through a lot of changes and stuff. And I said to myself, this might explain why is she putting up stuff like, let me see if I got the post. I thought you wasn't having any more kids, because we know publicly Jaden has said numerous times, I got my boy and my girl. And we already know, so she's either talking about her daughter or Jaden Alexis, because you can't be talking about Jaden Alexis, Carlissa, because let me just say this to you. We see Jaden getting her party on, drinking that tequila. But let me just say this. I don't want to go too far about what's in that cup, because we'll have people trying to break it down. You don't know if it's liquor in that cup. It could be water in there. So I'm not going to do all that. But I was saying to myself, this might be why she's going through changes and she's just saying things that are just, you know, crazy or just inappropriate. Ain't nobody's business. Ain't got nothing to do with social media. Celebrate the good news about whoever this person is that's supposed to be pregnant. But honey, it's definitely not no Jaidyn Alexis at all. And that thumbnail I put up, there is a content creator, and I crack up. They do reaction videos to the original video of the person who always says, I just got this phone call, but I can't tell you who it is. But this is breaking news that so. It's like, where's your receipts at, bro? And this dude does reactions to it. And that thumbnail was Jaden. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the day she broke Blueface's window. If y'all remember when Jaden broke the window and then she scurried off. So it's just funny. That's what starts mass confusion. People want to sensationalize stuff so bad that it is just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. And I don't think that Jaidyn Alexis, if she was pregnant, she would be wanting to be recording or be recorded of her partying and drinking and a stripper on a pole doing a split right on her stomach area. Why would she want that to happen if she's so pregnant? So she could be labeled and put in the same crabs in the barrel. And I'm not calling Chrisean Rock crabs in the barrel. It's just, it's a metaphor. It's just, it's a saying, just an old saying. So that you can drag and smear campaign her like people are doing Chrisean Rock. I don't think she wants that. It says a Crip degree. Listen, don't make me forget what I'm talking about, Dion. She said a Crip degree. Well, that's what some people act like they want him to have. Well, at least one person in here. They are convinced he's a Crip. Hey, it might be one of his ex. You feel me, Diane? Woo, cha. He ain't gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight. Blueface talking about, I'm a Crip. Boy, if you don't go sit down, that's just the side that you have more respect for whatever your reasons are. But and I even said when people were saying he was in a gang, first thing I had said too, like, don't in LA and those parts of United States, don't they do that crazy stuff like you got to get jumped in and all this other stuff? So he must have got jumped in, and I was like, he's so tall and skinny, they probably broke some bones on him. But come to find out, allegedly, that's where it stands. You heard it throughout my video, because you got to put allegedly, because you just got to do it to protect yourself. Look at Tasha K, man. She ran with the what's the girl's name? Cardi B. She was telling the truth at the beginning. She started seeing them views, and boy, she started adding stuff into the equation, honey, and got sued. All that YouTube money Tasha K made went right back to Cardi B. Carlissa can call or go up there to see what's wrong. That's what part of me saying this is just clout. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Why is she calling? Dre been in the system, so he should know how to get up there and do that as well. But like I said, the jail's overpopulated. I don't know how they run it. Hey, O'Neal TV, what's good with you? I see you. I'm about to get down to your comment in a minute. And but you got to understand too, I'm gonna say this again too. Who has said that? Oh, Dion, you got to understand this too. Sometimes people tell all the business, but again, people pick and choose what they want to tell. They don't tell you everything is what. So that's a good example of, because don't think just because you think they're on here every day consistently, they're telling you their whole life story. They tell you what they want you to know. What you need to know, they might not. It says all these stories you're coming up with, Clout, is real. Oh, really? Hey, O'Neal TV, what's good with you, man? What is good with you? Yeah, so like I said, it is really sad when you get people who they want to see everything in such a negative light. You know, as a mother, if I heard that my son was faking that he was a gang member, that would be a celebration for me. For Blueface, it's probably you're going down in the Hall of Fame as what an idiot. But at the same time, as he gets older and starts to understand that that's not where it's at, he'll be fine. He will definitely be fine. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not where you want to be, bro. It's no gang. You know what I'm saying? Or even labeled as a gang member. So I don't get why, if, like I said, allegedly, because we get these little haters up in here. But if you ain't, hold on one second. But if you ain't getting hate, you doing something wrong. Simple as that. If you don't get no hate, you doing something wrong. It's when they talk about you, is when you're doing something right. Only time you need to worry is when they're not. I never thought he was a gang. Too goofy, right? Too childish. His mind ain't even mature to be. It's just, I don't know. Let me do one thing, because I actually, surprisingly, I'm giving myself a little bit of credit. I actually withstanded the uh the nonsense with well, this is the second person in here as well now, trying to piggyback off the nonsense, trying to you know stir up the propaganda. But we're gonna get you out of here, and I actually let it go on the whole live. But yeah, you one at. Yeah, I gotta find you too. Yeah, you can window it, because like I said, my videos, I want you to take something away from it. I don't want you to get off the video and you're on edge like you drank like 17 shots of coffee or whatever they call it, um, and took some speed pills. You know what I'm saying? And you just feel out of place. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't got to always be negative. Look at that as a celebration. He should look at that as a celebration. Let's see. I'm trying, Deborah. I'm trying to tell you, man, we got to stop having this enslaved mentality, man. This is crazy. All this violence. I'm trying to tell you, man. It's just so sad, man. It's like people just don't want peace. Don't even want peace up here. And it's like, is administration, which is peace. Oh, you said women. Allegedly, Blue is in admin administration, which is actually PC. He did get into some altercations for fake gang. Okay, so somebody else trying to really force the issue that Blueface is gang. And it's so sad, because I'm quite sure they got kids. And it's like, it's not your kid, so who cares? Yeah, I want to label them as that. You know what I'm saying? See, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Like an ignorant person would say, why don't you make your kid into a gang member? But I wouldn't say nothing like that. I would say, we allegedly we're finding out Blueface was fronting about being a Crip, and he got seen for it, allegedly. Okay, let's keep it like that. When we know what time it is, right? We still got to say allegedly, right? And we heard how concerned Dre was. Y'all heard the brother. They have not heard from him. They're concerned. He's out here in these streets. People trying to get at him, all behind him and his actions, Blueface's actions. He said, if you ain't on this guard, he was definitely, when he said on guard, all this, because you need to be focused on your career, not trying to be no rapper slash gangster, because you're not fitting that bill, bro. It says, yeah, I caught that last slide. Well, Deborah, have no fear, because at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this whole premiere will go live at 2 o'clock. I was just putting it up for the people that took the time out and came to my live for 11 o'clock. So that's why I showed you guys it early. So you can see it at 2 p.m. East, or you could just replay this, but you could also just wait to 2 o'clock. And there will be a timestamp pinned on the 2 o'clock premiere where the video starts. So you can hear, where y'all you came to see, you know what I'm saying? Because some people get impatient and then they don't get the full information. It really is sad. It really is. And I just love when I can come in here with my sisters, because 98% of my audience are females. And I feel like I'm in my living room or in my backyard or something, and we're having some cocktails. And if you don't drink, you're having some lemonade or something. You know what I'm saying? And we're just we're vibing with each other, and we're talking like grown folks. You know what I'm saying? Uplifting each other. I just don't like when people just try to keep a negative narrative going. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad. If they were raised right, I really think the whole lot of them could be positive. Right, influence on the young generation. I said what I said. It starts in the home. That's right. That's right. Just so negative. I ain't never. I was only two people in here that was saying it, but why you want the? You find out that he was fake cripping and was a crip, and you just don't want to live with that. Why you wanted to be a crip anyways for? So you can hear that he got out because he's already a target because he's rich. Well, allegedly. Or he's Blueface. But if he is a crip, so-called a crip, crips can get jealous too and do stuff to you. Carlos is saying that to make Chrisean mad. That's all. Wack ain't speaking on that. Of course he's not. Much love, Lulu. Period. Little Rock, Arkansas, welcome back in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Crip Max said Blueface was no crip, and that's that Samo. What is it called? Some. What is that? Ones. Yeah, I think that he just got out, or they're trying to sign a petition to get him out. And Crip Mac be on the no jumper all the time, like how Whack 100's always on there. So I can believe, and if Crip Mac from LA, which he is definitely a gang member, if he said it, it's definitely confirmed. I am going to give the stream a thumbs up. I appreciate all of you. Oh, thank you so much, baby girl. It says, "Hey sis, I sent you a video on Crip Mac." Oh no, I know who Crip Mac is. Yup, he weird. Yeah, I know who Crip Mac is. Drinking that, what's that beer he drinks? That malt liquor he drinks? Yeah, no life, exactly. I believe he's not a Crip. I don't know. They call him Crip Mac. That's what his name is. I heard the first time I heard that man's name was through Whack 100's mouth, of course. Whack 100. He's like a little chatty patty. He got a little bit of female tendencies in him. They will ship him on release day to the next place. Hey Queen Bee. We hope he's not. That's what my whole point is, lady, the queen. You couldn't have said it no better. We hope he's not. That's not an accomplishment. Thank you. Sometimes I get so angry, I might not express it, but you can hear it because I might switch up my energy with you, not with you guys, but with the person that might trigger me with foolishness. But you could not have said that any better, Lady the Queen. That's my point of what I'm trying to say. We hope he's not. That's not an accomplishment. Child, that would crush wax pride. I know this lady, when I'm on, I love the haters can go away. Exactly. And I pretty much don't get them but from time to time. So I should take it as I don't know, entertainment moment. But listen, I'm about to get off here. I know you understand, sis. The internet connection acts like it's acting up anyway. So I'm trying to put this. There it goes. Yeah, so I'm about to get off here. I will be going live today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, please make sure your notification bell is on with the option. I'll check your bell when you get off this live. And also check out the 2 p.m. live so you can watch the whole entire video to the beginning and to the end. Because remember, the Dre part, Blueface's brother part, is at the end of the video where he's crying out for the public to give him an answer or start a hashtag or whatever, so he can get some information on what is going on inside that jail with his brother. So I will also put all the links to the credits that I'm giving to these people that helped me make this video by me using some of their content, their materials. So he's a Crip. He's from Schoolyard, right? Thank you so much, Queen. We appreciate you. Thank you, Deborah, sweetie. I love y'all. Stay blessed, and I'll see you. I'll talk with you guys tonight. Mwah.